The Bible, one of the most influential and revered books in the world, holds within it countless stories and characters that have shaped human civilization. However, there is one crucial fact that many people may not realize. Black people have played significant roles in many of the events and stories in the Bible. While these roles are often overlooked in sermons and scholarly discussions, they are an essential part of the biblical narrative, representing a bridge between different cultures and religions. Here are 7 shocking facts about black people in the Bible that you may not have heard before. 1. The Queen of Sheba, a powerful African leader. The Queen of Sheba, a famous figure in the Bible, visited King Solomon to test his wisdom and wealth in 1 Kings 10. She hailed from the kingdom of Cush, which is modern-day Ethiopia. This story highlights not only the queen's wisdom and wealth but also shows the influence of African leaders on significant events in history. Her visit wasn't just a diplomatic meeting, but a symbol of the cultural exchange and respect between two powerful civilizations, proving Africa's importance in the ancient world. A lesser-known fact is that the Queen of Sheba may have brought with her knowledge and culture from Africa that impacted not only King Solomon, but also the entire region. Her presence emphasizes not only Africa's power but also its central role in key biblical moments. 2. Moses' wife, a Cushite woman. Moses, one of the greatest figures in the Bible, is known not only for leading the Israelites out of Egyptian bondage, but also for his marriage to a woman from Cush, Ethiopia. In Numbers 12, Moses' sister, Miriam, criticizes him for marrying a Cushite woman. However, God defends Moses, showing that cross-cultural and interracial relationships are part of his divine plan and that such unions should not be condemned based on societal prejudice. This story isn't just about Moses and his relationship, but also highlights the important role black women played in biblical history. The Bible doesn't shy away from showing how African women contributed significantly to the unfolding of God's work on earth. 3. Simon of Cyrene, an African helping carry the cross. In the New Testament, Simon of Cyrene is an important figure in the story of Jesus' crucifixion. As Jesus struggled to carry his cross to Golgotha, a Roman soldier compelled Simon, a man from Cyrene, modern-day Libya, to carry the cross for him. This moment is described in Mark 15 verse 21, and while Simon is a somewhat overlooked character, his role was essential in one of the most significant events in Christianity. Simon, a black man from Africa, didn't just play a role in helping Jesus in a critical moment. His action also demonstrates the presence and influence of black people in the pivotal moments of Christian history. His image carrying the cross has become a symbol of sacrifice and faith, illustrating the diversity of early Christian communities. 4. The Ethiopian eunuch, a high-ranking official in the early church. One of the most notable stories in the New Testament is that of the Ethiopian eunuch, a high-ranking official in the Ethiopian queen's court. In Acts 8 verses 26-40, this eunuch, after hearing the gospel from Philip, immediately believes and asks to be baptized, becoming one of the earliest converts to Christianity. The Ethiopian eunuch represents not just Africa's involvement in the early spread of Christianity, but also its essential role in the Church's development. His conversion is a testament to how the gospel was reaching across borders, showing that Africa was a significant part of the Christian narrative from its very beginning. 5. African nations in the Bible, Egypt, Cush, and Libya. The Bible references several African nations such as Egypt, Cush, and Libya, all of which played important roles in biblical events. Egypt, for instance, was not only the land of bondage for the Israelites but also the place of refuge for the Holy Family when they fled from King Herod's massacre, Matthew 2 verses 13-15. Besides Egypt, Cush, Ethiopia, and Libya are mentioned frequently, showcasing the importance of African nations in the Bible. Egypt is not only a symbol of captivity but also a place where key figures like Moses were raised, shaping the narrative of Israel's salvation. 6. Africa's role in the Exodus story, an indispensable part. While Egypt is often depicted as the enemy in the Exodus story, it is important to remember that Moses himself was raised as an Egyptian prince. The Exodus, which is the defining moment of Israel's liberation, is inextricably tied to Egypt's role. Moses, though leading the Israelites out of Egypt, was shaped by his time spent there. This connection emphasizes Africa's central role in the formation of Israel's faith and history. Egypt, in particular, played a vital part in the biblical narrative, and Africa's influence extends far beyond the borders of Israel, playing a key role in God's overarching plan. 7. Prophecies of Africa's redemption, a glorious future. Several biblical prophets, such as Isaiah and Zephaniah, speak of a bright future for Africa. These prophecies suggest that one day African nations will stand alongside Israel in worshiping the Lord, symbolizing a unity of all nations under God's rule. These prophecies affirm Africa's role in God's plan for salvation. They demonstrate that Africa is not a distant or secondary element of the Bible's story but an integral part of the redemption narrative. The Bible speaks of a time when all nations, including those in Africa, will come together in unity, highlighting Africa's vital role in the fulfillment of God's promises. Conclusion. Black people and African nations have played crucial roles in the events and history of the Bible. The characters and stories related to Africa are often overlooked or underrepresented in sermons and biblical studies, but in reality, they are essential in shaping the Christian faith and history. Rediscovering these facts not only helps us understand the Bible in a fuller context, but also affirms the importance of diversity within the Christian tradition. The contributions of Black people in the Bible are not to be forgotten or marginalized but celebrated for their foundational impact on the faith we hold today.